Hello everyone, my name is General Fancy Pants, and welcome back to Memoria. When we last left off, we were with Saja, and she was able to get out of the tomb, and now we're back here, and I'm assuming that we're going to be solving this riddle that this guy has for us. And he was talking about that the riddle is basically the inscription that was above the tomb door towards the beginning of the game. But let's just start going through some of this dialogue at the moment here. So let's start with unimportant details.
How can the rest of the story not be important?
Well, it is important, but not for you. Trust me. In this one case, ignorance is truly a blessing.
Interesting. Let's see if he says the same thing.
How can the rest...
Well, it is important, but not for you. Trust me. In this...
Okay, so it's important, but not for Geron. Let's see here. Did the dream really happen?
If no one remembers her, how do you know that this woman really existed?
I investigated it myself. Malakar's burial chamber really existed, and over 450 years ago, a young woman was seen climbing out of that very tunnel with a fakina and setting out towards the Rashtulian wall. I swear to you, in the name of my father and all my forefathers, Sajia's tale is a true story.
Okay. Let's talk about the riddle.
Do I understand you correctly? The glowing inscription on the burial chamber, that's the riddle?
Quite correct. An archaic inscription written in ancient Talamedia. As an educated Talamede princess, Sajia was the only one who could read it. I created a transcription from my memory, and an old friend translated it for me. It reads, as the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Enter if to you the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own.
Eerie.
I believe Sajia knew the answer, else she would never have entered the chamber.
But why didn't she tell the others? Didn't she send them all to their doom that way?
I see you paid attention. I give you 3 days to solve the riddle. On the 4th day, I'll move on, whether you know the answer or not.
And if I solve it by then?
You shall have what you want from me. A spell of the mightiest transformation. A spell which transforms any living being into any form you desire.
Deal.
I like you, Geron. I'm certain our business will turn out well for both of us.
Believe me, I hope so too.
Okay, so we have our mission, I guess, or a quest.
Strange fellow. Nuri, I'm back. I think I found someone who can help you. Nuri?
I'm here.
What's wrong?
My wound opened. My wing is bleeding again.
Oh no, were you playing with animals again? You're a raven now. You can't do that anymore.
I wasn't playing. It just opened again.
It doesn't look too bad. You lie and rest. I'll make a salve for you.
Okay, so we've got Nuri here. And this is what happened to her at the end of the last game. She was turned into a raven to basically save her life. So let's kind of take it around. This is Garen's house, and used to be his uncle, I believe, if I remember correctly, his uncle's house. Let's take a look at this recipe here.
Good thing I hadn't put it away yet. For Nuri's salve of healing, I need to mix ground up whirlweed with salve fat. Salve fat. I can only pray that the Lady Perina will allow the use of simple grease just this once.
Okay. A broken artifact, yep.
Did it hurt when the artifact pulled your soul into the raven's body?
I don't know. It was worse before that. My fairy body was wilting away. That was much more painful.
I'm sorry. At that point, I could only save your soul, not your body. I often ask myself whether there wasn't another way after all. I tried everything. I asked Hazinda clerics, stole magic books from the school, made pacts with witches. Nothing and nobody can restore the power of the artifact. And anyway, Nuri's old body is lost forever. I hope this far he will keep his promise.
Okay. And this was the artifact that basically allowed I won't be able to remember his name, but he use that to transfer his soul from his body to a bird, and then that's what we use to transfer a Nuri soul to this bird. A King Chestnut, I remember him.
Nuri's old chestnut mannequin.
Ho ho, Nuri. I, King Chestnut, bid you good evening.
Good evening, King Chestnut.
Why so sad, my lovely?
I don't know. Right now, I just want to sleep.
Oh, that's a very wise idea. It's so wise that I hereby officially appoint you to be my Minister of Sleep.
Oh, thank you, dear King.
You have earned this title honestly.
Okay. There's the bird's seat.
I just built that for her last week. Do you like your new bird tree?
Yes. Geron, why must I be a fairy again before we can leave here?
Because that's what you are. A fairy, not a raven. And Giacomo says we need to hurry about changing you back. He says that a fairy soul is a tender thing. Who knows what'll happen if it stays in the wrong body for too long. And it's much easier for me to protect you here than it would be on the road. If only you would let me protect you.
Okay. Let's talk to, well, let's take a look at Nuri first.
Nuri hasn't been a fairy since last winter. I wonder if I could have saved Andergast if I hadn't transformed her.
Don't torture yourself, Geron. Things are as they are.
But they don't have to stay that way.
True. On both accounts, that things are as they are, but they don't have to stay that way.
Oh,
Don't move. If you move, it'll just get worse. I'll hurry with the salve.
Okay, we have a dresser back here.
I never thought I could fix that after last winter. Nothing in there that could help Nuri.
Okay.
Giacomo's bird bath is very pretty, isn't it? He said he found it in some fairy ruins in the blood barrier.
there are no birds in the fairy world.
Well, there's at least one big peacock.
Right, but that's all. Your world is much more beautiful.
That's very true. There is one large peacock that takes care of time.
It's filled with magic fairy water from Nuri's cave.
Okay.
After I finished eating, I wanted to get to Fahi as fast as I could. I didn't have time to clean up. By Travia, it's all greasy.
Okay, so that could be grease. Let's take the knife and put it into the pot.
It'll take half the night to scrape out the fat with that.
Alright, let's see if we can't find something more efficient then.
Books from the School of Magic about spells and alchemy. None of them could tell me how to transform Nuri back. I'll take them back during my next break-in.
Okay. It's kind of funny that steal the books back into the
That
library.
horrible witch. She promised me that I could use the recipe to create a new body for Nuri. I'll never see those silver thalers again. Useless undergrowth. I'll throw it out tomorrow.
Okay, curtain.
The fabric is falling apart more and more. Well, as soon as I solve Fai's riddle, we'll be out of here. Right, Nuri?
I want to see the world.
But first you need your old body back. If I pull on this, I'll tear the whole curtain. I can barely keep up with the repairs as it is.
Well, let's see, can we cut the curtain?
I'll cut out a rag.
Okay. So now, can we use the rag to, or the strip of fabric, I guess is what they call it, but to maybe like wipe out grease from the pot?
The rag's now covered in fat.
Okay. So now we just need whirl...
No, I need to take care of Nuri.
Oh, I wonder if there's whirlweed here, or whatever that...
Useless undergrowth. I'll throw it out tomorrow.
What was it called? Whirlweed?
Master Gwynling's old birdcage. You'll have to go back in there tomorrow, I'm afraid. At least until you can fly again. Otherwise, the Andergastrians will see that I'm traveling with a talking raven on my shoulder, and we'd be facing an angry mob again in no time.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea to keep
There's
her
nothing to cut here.
keep her away from that. So we had to find... Let's see, what do we need again?
For Nuri's salve of healing, I need to mix ground-up whirlweed with salve fat. Salve fat. I can only pray that the Lady Perina will allow the use of simple grease just this once.
Alright, so whirlweed. But where is whirlweed?
As a bird catcher, I acquired quite a collection. The skulls hail back to Gwynling's time.
Gwynling,
They're
that's...
disgusting. Why don't you take them down?
We need to keep up appearances. If anyone notices that I no longer catch birds and live with a talking raven instead, they'll burn us alive.
But you saved them all. You ought to let them know.
The bird catcher a hero? They'll all laugh at me. Anyway, I don't care what those idiots think of me.
But if they thought well of you, your life would be good.
Nuri, my life has been good. It was good to travel with you. It's enough for me that you know what we did.
That's very sweet of him to say that. Let's take a look at the harp picture.
The seer's fairy harp. It's finally destroyed, thank the gods. That accursed harp. If it hadn't been for that, you'd still be yourself.
I don't want to think about that. It was so horrible.
No, that's understandable.
I was still very young when they died. Do you miss your family, Nuri? The fairy queen and king?
A little, but I prefer not to look back. The animals and plants of this world are my family now.
Okay, that's fair enough. Oh, hey, there's whirlweed right here. Okay. Whirlweed. I can't say that very
Healing
well.
herbs from the woods, in case Nuri gets injured again.
I don't get injured very often. I'm getting better at being a raven all the time.
It's high time we transform you back.
Alright, can we take some? Alright. I wonder if I have to, like, mix... attach the... or combine these two things.
First, I have to grind up the herbs somehow.
Okay, well, the bird bath might make a good, mortar and pestle, as it were.
I put the healing herb in the bowl.
Do I use my knife on it?
Ah, I can grind up the herb with the knife handle. There. I can't get it out of there with my...
Maybe just dip the greasy rag in there.
Perina, please let this fat be enough for Nuri's wound. It's all I have.
Okay. Now let's see if we can't fix up Nuri.
There. And next, we'll make you a fairy again.
Did you meet the man?
Yes, I don't know if I can trust him though. But if Giacomo is right, then soon everything will be like it used to be. You'll be as tall as a human again, and together we'll travel across Aventuria and have one adventure after another.
When do you think I'll be able to fly again?
Let's see how your wound is doing tomorrow. Maybe we can go and practice a little.
Fine. Sleep well, Geron.
Sleep well, and don't worry. Soon everything will be as it was. As the stone over the scarab, so rules the scarab over the stone. Enter if to you the answer is known. If not, then forever your life I'll own.
Chapter 2. Man, I gotta say, I'm loving this game so far.
And again, this time you can do it.
I don't know.
Don't be discouraged. Think about something nice. Think about...
Okay. So we can... Let's see here. That's pretty cool that... Yeah, that wasn't actually... That didn't turn out so well our last night by the campfire. Let's try our first meeting.
Think about the first time we met. You lived in a lonely cave for years, and together we found a way to finally free you, and all the things you've seen since then.
The first thing I saw were people who wanted to kill me.
Yes, but you've also seen nice things. Do you remember?
Okay, looks like maybe we'll go through all of these, I bet.
Isn't it a wonderful feeling to have defeated the seer and finally be free?
I don't want to think about it. Those months in the cave were horrible.
I shouldn't have brought it up. Nuri, you must have one nice memory. Do you remember the night we spent together in the Brinask marshes? You wanted to enter a bond of love with me.
Yes, that was nice. But you lied to me before that.
Yep.
I wanted to save you. If I told you the truth, you wouldn't have come with me. Anyway, I still like to think about it. It's time you become a fairy again. Do you remember how happy and carefree you used to be?
Of course I remember. That makes me even sadder.
Come on, that's enough for today.
Do I have to go back in the cage?
Unfortunately, yes. With a pet raven on my shoulder, the Andergastrians will immediately take me for a warlock again. I'm glad those days are over.
Oh well.
On the way back, let's stop by Fai's tent. He has such a carefree manner. I'm sure he'll raise your spirits.
Geron?
Yes?
I want to be like I was in former times too. But I don't know how. So much has happened.
We'll manage somehow.
Okay. I think we need an episode right here. I guess we didn't go through all the options. Like maybe it's only you can only pick 3, or I just happened to pick the one that ended that line of dialogue. Either way, kind of interesting. Like I said, I'm really enjoying this game so far, and I'm not even that far into it. So, yeah, next time we will go see Fahi, I guess, again, and maybe he'll have some more information for me on what to do next. So, I will see you guys next time on Memoria. Until then.